Dear students, greetings for the day. Today we will study about apparel designing process. Objectives. To familiarize the students with the qualities required to become a good designer. To understand the process of designing apparels. To know the importance and process of designing functional clothing. Introduction to apparel designing. Qualities of a good designer. Apparel designing is both functional and creative. Apparel designing is a more generic term that includes the entire process of designing and making a clothing item. It is influenced by cultural and social attitudes and has varied over time and place. It is the art of applying design, aesthetics and imparts natural beauty to the wearer through clothing and its accessories. It is more technical in its essence and incorporates things like concept designing, evaluation and the final product. Today the apparel markets are flooded with lot of varieties of branded and unbranded items as the customers look for new items for every purchase. More than the price, the customers are looking forward for variety consisting of different fabrics, colors, textures, styles, designs, etc. Therefore, designing as per the taste of the today's customer is becoming complex. Apparel designing is not only creative but requires many other skills such as knowledge about fabric, garment making, current fashion trends, the customer etc. To become a good designer, one should possess qualities like an innate sense of creativity is important to become successful in the fashion world. Besides, artistry and imagination can provide a strong instinct essential to come up with beautiful apparel designs befitting the customer. Strong drawing skills are preferable as the designer needs to put his/her thoughts in the form of design on paper. The skills of sketching the figure types, garment parts, rendering with different colors, textures etc. can easily be acquired through a short-term practical training. Good eye for detailing the important elements such as textures, flounces, drape of garments, envision the pleats falling on a skirt or a blouse cinching at the waist etc. is an added advantage. The skill of detailing cannot be ignored as it makes a design more unique and acceptable. Knowledge about different types of fabrics, colors, textures and their drape is essential as the design mood or concept needs to be translated into the final garment. The techniques of garment making should also be known for making the design more functional and practical. Capacity to visualize of the final product makes the designer highly successful. This enables her to communicate her ideas to her consumers and team members. Good communication skills are vital in fashion field to satisfy the consumers and apparel manufacturers as they are more articulate. Awareness about the current trends makes the designer more successful. At the same time, exposure to different trade shows makes them more confident. A competitive spirit is necessary to create innovative designs and be competitive in the market. Apparel designing process. The first step in designing is to know what to design. What type of garments is in fashion today in the market? What kind of silhouettes, colors, fabrics, textures are in fashion? Little research into the market trends is always required to keep up with the time. It is paramount to have the design focus oriented towards the customer segment. Otherwise, the end product, however exquisite it is, it becomes a failure. Generally, 2 seasons are identified for fashion collections such as summer and winter collections. The design process, also referred as line planning, triggers at least 2 seasons before the actual selling season to facilitate the arrival of merchandise at the right time in the market. Fashion has attained a global appeal, with a mass-produced uniformity. Thus, to initiate the process of line planning, the fashion designers follow varied forecasting sources to arrive at a range of garments with the global appeal. Once the designer is ready with the required details, she should come up with a concept that is being fashioned by taking inspiration from the surroundings. Probably this part in designing process may be most crucial, and generally designers take long time to come up with ideas and form a clear concept to begin designing. The designers may take inspiration from any object present in their surroundings. It may be a leaf or a flower or the colors of nature, or it may be a temple art or a sport or calligraphy or any other entity in accordance with the fashion forecast. The designer may develop a mood board to converge her ideas to form a theme or concept. Mood board. Developing a mood board may be a great fun to the budding designer to incorporate the results gathered out of the research undertaken. It is a visual form of expression of the vision in the mind of the designer. In-depth study of fashion forecast services provide the line of action in this regard. For the designer, it is the first stage of organizing her thoughts and the collected images to channel her creative excitement towards a consistent and targeted design outcome. Mood boards are prepared by arranging the images and color and texture ideas on a large board and make a collage which provides an overview of the mood or feeling it carries. It is necessary that it should carry the mood or spirit of the design, however complex it is, keeping the customer in view. Visual pictures in the form of cutouts, photographs or natural items are collected and pasted as per the conceived story on the board. While preparing the mood boards, the designer should be able to confirm the season and the color palette and accordingly prioritize the images. The designers take the help of computers and digital photography to prioritize their mood/visual expression. Color board. Color plays an important role in selection of garments from the consumer's end. The influence of fashion trends on the color palette is very much evident from the type of merchandise available in the market. Generally, designers obtain the colored paper or paint the exact shades following the Prang or Munsell color systems on paper and use them in the form of palette. The dominating colors will also be indicated. It is better not to have more colors, especially not more than 8 colors. Addition of more colors creates a lot of confusion and may spoil the flavor of the design. It is always better to keep the designs neat and simple. Swatch board. A swatch is a small piece of fabric cut from the fabric board to be a sample piece provided before making a final purchase. It may contain one repeat of the design woven or printed or embroidered, so that it will give an idea of the suitability of the fabric. The designer with good knowledge about the fabric type, texture, drape, price, etc. can easily pick up the suitable fabrics from the market. However, to keep abreast of the changes occurring due to technological developments in the fabric field is paramount to the designer. If possible, It is better to collect fabric swatches matching with the selected color palette, as it gives proper visualization of the apparel design project. Illustration board. The illustration board finally presents the clothing designs which are created by hand drawing or computer programs. These drawings are the first entities that fashion stylists and fashion buyers will look to make decisions for their clients. Based on the reputation of the company and the style of the designer and intricacy of the design, different formats are in use. Figure formats such as single figure, double figure, multi-figure and cropped figure are used by the designer for representing the developed designs. Single figure formats are popular in bridal and special wear. Double formats provide dramatic effect and also share a common theme. Multi-figure formats are good for mass wear. Cropped figure formats are normally applied for showing intricate designs. Generally, both the front and back view of the illustration is done for complete visualization of the garment design. Flats. Drawing flats is an essential skill required for the fashion designers. Flats are technical drawings that can communicate design details, silhouette and the complexity of the design. On the design sheets, it is important to indicate flats or specification drawings. Specification drawings, or specs as they are called, are small proportion drawings, with measurements of the various styles furnished. It also contains details of construction lines, useful and relevant information to the production department of the apparel industries. Client board. The details of a client are paramount, as the garment is made to the ultimate satisfaction of the customer. Details of the customer such as the age group, profession, fashion orientation, season, affordable price range, etc. More details may be required if the design is customized. Tag designing. Tags attached to the garment are designed with theme, color board, swatches, wash and care, price code and price. Logos/labels. Logos or labels are designed to provide information about the name and other details of the company. Specific labels may be attached giving details of the size, the fiber content, care information, etc. Designing functional clothing. Designing fashion clothing requires creative abilities of the designer. Designing functional clothing starts and ends with specific user requirements. These requirements are dependent on the activities a person performs and the environment in which they live. It may be to provide comfort or make the customer warm in extremely cold weather, or provide protection against UV rays, impact protection, etc. Designing functional clothing adopts a problem-solving approach wherein the designer has to consider the design as a problem and the skills applied to solve the problem makes the designer unique. It is highly customized and complicated due to the specific requirements which are sometimes almost opposite to each other. As per Coburg and Bignall, 1981, the design process is a sequence of events which demands creative behavior from its participants. Its activity is to improve existing conditions and to find clear paths out of dilemmas. The designers work out problems in variety of ways. Event of designers use different terminologies. They all follow critical steps that cannot be ignored in designing effective functional clothing. The steps are: 1. Acceptance of the problem. 2. Analyze the problem in terms of its situation. 3. Definition of the design problem. 4. Ideation to come up with different ideas. 5. Selection of the suitable idea. 6. Implementation of the design idea. 7. Evaluate the suitability of the implemented design idea.